meditation, in my growth and development, in my being in classes for spiritual awakening, detachment is the best way to live. It doesn't mean I don't care. It doesn't mean that I won't take the time. What it does mean is I do not let your stuff affect me. It doesn't change my behavior. It won't make me happy or sad. I'm just there. I learned also of the thing about sometimes people spit up on you in a negative way. They're not talking about you or them. They just vending. They're just venting, you know, and you just happen to be the one that they're venting on. And it's not about you. It's about them. Yeah. Every relationship that I'm in, with the exception of a few who are just my friends, it's really about them. They're always talking about what they don't like or what they have happened to them. And I always try to tell people, and I realize this in my own life, that if it upsets me about you, what you're doing, how it's saying, if it's in my spirit, then I need to look at me, because it's probably in my being, and I just haven't looked at it. So anyway, that's another story. Resting. So how do I cure that?
All right.
By resting quickly. I like the fact that you said taking that micro.
Oh, micro sleep?
Yeah, micro sleep is important.
Yeah. So now this was the one that I thought was closest to meditation when we talk about mental rest. And we've already hit on this because mental rest is all about give your mind a break. Stop we mind other people's business too much. Too much. So we've already been in there. But now to reel it back. Mental rest, we got to stop thinking. Thinking about waste, thinking about other people's stuff, thinking about the past, thinking about the future.
What we need to do,
things
what we should have done,
yeah,
what we
things
didn't
we
do.
can't control. Give your mind a rest. Create space between one thought and the other. And that's why I said I thought that's where the meditation came in, because you're finding that quiet space. Give your mind a rest.
Well, because I am a meditator, and I do this every morning at 6:30 with a crew of people on a phone call. And after actually being in community, showing people how to meditate and giving them different methods to meditate, meditation takes care of all of that. It is a spot, a time to relax completely. And then it takes a little minute to get to the point where you free your mind of thought. But the desire to do that and to stop and breathe, keep your focus on your breath, coming in, going out, coming in, going out. You can actually feel better.
You feel releasing.
Right, you feel better. And it doesn't have to take a long time. You know that thing about count to 10. Breathe to 10. Close your eyes and just say, I am, as you're breathing. And when you wake, you have cleared your mind. Most times you've cleared your spirit. Most of the time you're not the same troubled soul that you were when you went in. And if you're not, and none of those things work, do it again, but do it longer.
And then learn to add the dead body posture.
Let go. Relax.
And you don't always have to be laying down or getting ready for sleep. Now, I know when I first started meditating, I always fell asleep.
And that's natural.
But you don't always have to fall asleep. Or the goal is not to fall asleep, okay? But get in this state of relaxation, letting go. Let that dead body posture, just let it go. So if you gotta lay down, you can, but you can do it right here in this chair, just like this.
Yeah, you can. You can actually do it walking also.
Yes.
A lot of folks don't really realize that. They think that they have to be in a quiet place. And no, you don't even have to be readily available. Your eyes can be wide open, and you could be listening to a meditation off of YouTube, or a person that you love, and and they're guiding you through. Once you become attuned to it, it works. Now, I wanted to hit one thing on the falling asleep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you're in the process of meditating and you fall asleep, your subconscious mind is still hearing.
Mm-hmm.
So you're still actually moving into a meditative sleep mode. So your subconscious is still doing the work. You just aren't consciously awake. It's like if you put on, I am doing a sleep meditation, um, nightly meditation with Deepak and Oprah that I have on my phone. So when I'm not resting well, normally I get into my grounding sheets and I fall asleep like that. But sometimes it doesn't happen like that. So last night I had it on and actually I fell asleep. But it was all right because they were still meditating.
Mm.
So this morning when I woke up, I was well rested,
Yes.
and the meditation was still on.
Mm-hmm.
So, but subconsciously, my body is still doing the work. It's
Wow.
still doing the work.
Okay, so we talked about 4 types, and let's see if we can recap before we move into the types of rest a little bit deeper. So we talked about senses, and I'll point to my nose and say sensory, mental, all right, then emotional. I'm regurgitating here. We're talking about throwing up on people and dumping, regurgitating.
Yeah, dumping.
So you go sensory, mental, emotional, and then physical. All right, those are the types of rest. But now let's move into sleep.
Actual sleep.
Yes, actual sleep. Because Rose and I have been talking about REM and non-REM. And before we go there, I'll talk about the stages of sleep are according to the brain waves, that's an EEG, the eye movements, your EOG, and muscle tension, your EMG. Okay? So when you release and let go, then all of those areas, or those, I want to say sensories, or those electro, because they're all electric. We talked about that one time too, how much electricity is in our body.
Yes.
So when you get to that stage, the first 4 stages are classified as non-rapid eye movement sleep, so non-REM. And then the 5th stage is classified as rapid eye movement sleep. But that's the deep sleep that we go in and out of. Because believe it or not, when people say, I came in, I called you or whatever, you were knocked out. But it doesn't last. It doesn't last long. But that's when you know that your body is really recuperating.
I must be like that all the time. My daughter says she can call my name and I will not hear. You have to actually touch me to wake me up. Phones, once I get into that mode, phones, doorknobs, knocking, I don't hear a thing.
You don't hear a thing? Wow.
I sleep deep.
Okay. Now,
but I work hard.
Okay. But I was going to say, have you noticed a difference since grounding?
Well, no, because I live alone, so it depends. I think that when I sleep silently without meditation or music going, then I'm more aware of sound.
Okay.
But what I notice is that if I do a meditative music thing that lasts for like 3, 4, 8 hours during my sleep, then I actually do sleep deeper. Okay. So I don't hear anything outside of the music.
Wow.
Somebody says something.
And while you're reading that, I have something funny to share that I experienced because when I first started meditating,
excuse me, my cousin Sarah, you are just so I sleep deep. I don't know if everybody else does.
Your side of the planet?
Yeah, my side. Okay. Thank you for joining us, Sarah.
Yes.
They're in Ohio.
Oh wow. Well, thank you for joining us. When I first started meditating, I had been diagnosed with tinnitus. So tinnitus is the constant ringing in the ears, right? And I shared this yesterday, and we just laughed about it because it's like meditating. They told me to put on some running water or, you know, find some type of sound that was soothing. And my response to the therapist that told me this was, why do I need to cut on anything? I already got all this blanket going on in my head. I'm trying to get rid of it. So why are you telling me to cut on more noise?
So did you come to the conclusion?
After I realized that tinnitus, I could, once I change my diet, heal my body, and calm down all that ruckus that was going on
in your head.
Exactly. But they want to give you drugs for that,
right.
You know?
The sound of running water or sitting and sleeping. How many of you notice that you sleep better when you're on vacation at a beach? Mm-hmm. The sound of water is healing, and it's relaxing.
So take time sometimes to cut off those TVs.
Disconnect.
Cut off the radio. I mean, we're gonna have a little quiz, and I want to ask those of you that are listening or still watching to chime in, because we're going to talk about some of those things, what actually helps us sleep. Okay, so stage 1 in our non-REM stage of sleeping, that's the light sleep. Mm-hmm. Wakes very easily. Get that floating feeling. You ever feel like as you're drifting, you're falling, getting that floating feeling? But one thing I know we probably don't notice, other people might notice if they're looking over you, rolling eye movement. And they be like, you sleep? You ain't sleep. Your ass is moving. You ain't sleep. And people do that to you.
Yeah.
And relax muscles. That relaxed stage. So that's stage 1. But stage 2 is still light sleep, wakes easily, but you're daydreaming. So you're starting to go into your dreaming.
Yeah.
Your eyes may roll, your muscles are relaxed, but you're transitioning into that REM stage. And then stage 3 and 4 is where Rosa goes. She gets into that deep sleep, difficult to awake,
yes,
realistic, dreams. Some people, if they snore, this is when the snoring kicks in. No eye movement, and the muscles are relaxed. So you know normally when somebody starts snoring, if they snore, then they are relaxed. Okay?
And that's where I go all the time. I snore
right.
like I don't
really?
know what. Yes,
you snore? Wait. I was like, you know what? You're right. Look, we've done some overnighters before, okay, y'all? Because I was like trying to remember. Wait a minute, did we have to put Rose out the room?
I snore. I do. And I apologize for it, but I feel good. You can roll me over, wake me up, it does not matter. I will fall right back to sleep and start snoring again. Okay. And so for that, I use oils.
Okay. You know what? And
there are oils
went into that segue, do we want to go into our
Yes,
oil?
I think we do, because our hour is almost up.
Yeah.
And our time is... So right before we get into the oil of the day or the product of today, I want to remind you, if you are anywhere between the ages, and I'm going to back this up, young adulthood to older adults, you need anywhere from 7 to 9 hours of sleep.
And can you
don't fool yourself.
Raise a hand, put a hand out there if you're listening and you do that, because we want to applaud you.
Yeah, if you do. I do that. I try my darndest to be in the bed by 10 o'clock, but then I'm up at 4 every morning, so I need my 10 o'clock. Okay. My body craves my 10 o'clock, especially when I'm out and about like this and I can't take a nap. So, one of the things that I like about being retired before I became a business owner, I like the fact that I could take a nap in the day.
You know, the studies say only our children in the U.S. take naps.
Yeah. That's a shame.
Only the children.
Foreign countries, they'd be like, especially if it's hot, at 4 o'clock, they're taking a nap. And they're back up by 7 to do whatever they do. And they've had their dinner.
Most of them are working outside. Most of them are working outside. And it's like they've been out there in that heat or that laborious work. So they have to come in and take that break.
So I want to, before we get into the next segment, I want you to please make sure you share our video. We desire more people to become aware. We are here to serve you. If you have any questions about anything we've talked about, go back and look at some of the YouTube videos on Tiffany Daniel YouTube page and like them. Mine are posted on I don't on my Facebook page. Because I don't video them.